All right, so today we're going to talk about a business that honestly sounds like it's ripped straight from a movie script, but it's totally real, and it can be really lucrative. We're talking about the business of finding hidden money.
No, seriously, just think about that for a second. Imagine your job is basically being a modern-day treasure hunter, finding money that people completely forgot about, and then getting a nice cut just for giving it back to them. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. This is a real thing.
So, just how much treasure are we talking about here? I mean, is this even worth it? Well, the number is billions, with a B. We're talking billions of dollars just sitting there in government vaults all over the world, waiting for anyone to come and claim it. The amount of money we're talking about is just mind-blowing. Okay, so let's get into the weeds a bit. To really get a handle on this opportunity, you got to understand the map, right? So what exactly are we looking for? What is this so-called treasure?
Think of it like a giant nationwide lost and found for money. So let's say a bank or an insurance company owes you money, but they can't track you down. Maybe you moved or changed your name. Well, after a few years, they can't just pocket that cash. The law says they have to hand it over to the government, who holds onto it for you.
And, this happens way more often than you'd think. We're talking about things like that last paycheck from a summer job you never bothered to cash, or maybe a stock dividend from some shares your grandma bought you ages ago. It could even be the stuff inside an old safe deposit box you totally forgot existed. It's just normal, everyday money stuff that somehow got lost in the shuffle.
Okay, but wait a minute. If the government is just holding the money, where's the business in that? Aha, well, that's where you come in. You become the hero of the story, the modern-day financial detective.
And this, right here, is the key. The information is technically public, right? But it's usually buried deep inside some clunky government database, and getting it out requires fighting through a jungle of paperwork and red tape. So most people, they either have no idea this money is even out there, or they try, get frustrated, and just give up. And that gap, that space between the lost money and the person who owns it, that is where the business lives.
So how does this all work in practice? Like, what do you actually do? Well, it's probably simpler than you're imagining. It really just comes down to a simple three-step process.
Step 1. You hunt through those public databases looking for larger sums of money owed to people or businesses. Step 2. You put on your detective hat and do some sleuthing to track down the rightful owner, or maybe their kids or grandkids. And Step 3, the big one, you reach out, explain the situation, and make them an offer. You'll handle all the messy paperwork to get their money back, and all they have to do is give you a cut of it when it comes through.
And how do you get paid? It's all on commission, which is pretty cool. So let's say you find out an old printing shop that closed down is owed $20,000 from an old insurance policy. You find the original owner, right? You make a deal for a 20% commission. When the money comes through, you get $4,000 for your detective work, and they get $16,000 that they had absolutely no idea existed. I mean, everybody wins.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? A total dream job. But let's be real for a second. Like any good story, there's a payoff, but there's also a catch. There are some serious rewards here, for sure, but there are also some real challenges you need to know about.
So here's the breakdown. On the one hand, the payoff is huge. It's a win-win model. You only get paid when your client gets paid. The commissions, anywhere from 10 to 30%, can be really substantial, and you're actually helping people get back what's theirs. But, and this is a big but, the catch is real. This is not a get-rich-quick thing. It takes a ton of patience. The work is super meticulous. You have to be on top of every little detail. And most importantly, you're playing with legal fire. You have to know the local laws and privacy rules inside and out. This isn't really a casual side gig. It's a serious professional gig.
But when you get it right, it really is something special. I think this quote just nails it. You're making money by helping people find their own forgotten treasures. You're not just some random person trying to make a buck. You're the one who shows up with amazing news and a check they never expected. That's a pretty cool way to make a living.
So, that kind of leaves us with one last thing to think about. We know there are billions of dollars just waiting out there, belonging to millions of people who are completely clueless. And it makes you wonder, doesn't it? If some of that money was yours, who would you want to be the one to find it?